Alright guys, so one of the questions that I get asked most often is, should I start with a sewing machine or a serger? Sewing machine, serger. Sewing machine, serger. Sewing machine, serger. Sewing machine, serger. Don't worry you guys, we're going to figure that out today.
You are watching Nadira037.
So before we jump into the video, two quick things. Make sure you guys have clicked that subscribe button if you have not yet, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a new video. And a big shout out to all my material girls who have supported me on my Patreon, definitely helping me make sure I can make more videos for you guys. Click that link below if you haven't yet. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with taking a look at these two machines here. I have a sewing machine and a serger, and we'll start with the sewing machine. This is my sewing machine, and we're gonna take a closer look at it. I do have a computerized sewing machine, and you can see the different settings and options here. And it also does have a variety of stitches, and here is just a closer look at the different stitches on my machine. So the basics of your sewing machine is you would use that to stitch two pieces of fabric together. And you lower your presser foot and go ahead and start sewing. So here is a look at that with some fabric. I do have two pieces of fabric here. I'm going to place those on top of each other with the right sides facing right sides. Go ahead and make sure your presser foot is down, and then you will start sewing. You do want to go ahead and do a quick back stitch to secure your thread and continue sewing. Sew all the way down and do another back stitch. And voila, you have two pieces of fabric that are sewn together. And this is what it looks like on the outside, nice and neat. The only thing is on the inside, you can see, especially with a fabric like this, which is a cotton, it will fray. And it's not cute, it's not pretty. Now I do have a DIY in sewing hack video that shows you one way that you can kind of get around that, so definitely make sure you click the card on your right to check that out. But here's another option. Using this zigzag stitch on my machine, which is number 4, but you can use a similar stitch. And this is just a kind of quick rough draft example for you guys, so make sure if you do this you have your settings correct, but you can see it went back and forth, and it kind of helps secure that seam allowance or excess fabric on the ends, and this is what it looks like on the other side. However, your ideal option would be a serger. This is my serger, and we'll go ahead and take a closer look at it. So you can see here I do have a few different settings on my serger as far as the stitch width, differential, whether or not I want to have the blade up or down. And I also have a 4-thread serger. All right, you guys, so kind of zooming in here so we can see this bad boy at work. This is the chain or the thread on the end. When you're serging, you can see I'll press on that and it just starts to come up like so. And then you can actually just go ahead and cut it because it does have the blade. Did you guys see that? This used to intimidate me so much. I don't know, the idea of that blade being there used to intimidate me, but don't let that intimidate you guys. I'm just showing you a closer look at that, so hopefully you're able to see that blade going up and down. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with two pieces of fabric with right sides facing right sides. The great thing about your serger is it does stitch your fabric together, but as you can see right here, it's going to go ahead and cut off that excess seam allowance or the excess fabric. This is going to give you a really nice finished and polished look on the inside of your clothing, like most clothing is when you buy it from the store, and it really has a nice look on the outside as well. So another thing that you guys have seen me do often is I'll do a straight stitch on my sewing machine, and then I'll go ahead and take it to my serger just for extra security and to have the nice finished look on the inside. And this is what that would look like. And again, nice finished look on the outside. Another great thing about using your serger, especially with knit fabrics, is it keeps that stretch in the fabric. So let's go ahead and take a look at this jumpsuit that I made before I had a serger. Really nice jumpsuit. It's been through the washing machine a few times, and you can see here along my seam allowance that fabric has frayed quite a bit. I should probably just go ahead and take my serger over that just to clean it up. Still on the outside though, it looks very nice and neat. All right, so let's actually move some of this lint. I picked the most lint covered blazer that I could find to show you guys. But this is a blazer that I do have here, you guys. It is a knit blazer, and here's more lint. Let's get that out of the way. And we're gonna go ahead and take a closer look at the seam in the stitch there. So here's the closer look. You guys can see that it does have a straight stitch, and then it also has been serged, so it looks very nice, neat, clean, professional on the inside. So there's a lot of different reasons that you would use a serger and or a sewing machine. For example, this skirt, I do have a tutorial for it. I use mostly my serger to make this skirt, especially since I was working with a knit fabric. It's super easy and convenient. For the tutorial, I showed you guys how to make a similar skirt for my little girl with a knit fabric, and you guys can see me using the serger here. The only thing is, in order to finish it and hem the skirt, I did still have to go to my sewing machine. And here's what that finished skirt looked like on my baby girl. Another thing that I will do is use my serger and my sewing machine when I'm doing sleeves. Then I use Wonder Tape. I have a video all about the wonder of Wonder Tape. Click the card to check it out. Good stuff. But I place that down, I flip it over, then I just go ahead and give it a quick iron. And then I will do a top stitch with a stretch stitch all along the sleeve. And you guys can see the finished sleeve here. So really, the serger and the sewing machine, they can work hand in hand. It all just kind of depends on what you're looking for and what you want to make. So it's kind of a little bit like team effort, or maybe teffort, if you will, or maybe like teamwork or twerk. Oh, get it. Sewing machine and serger, twerk. Okay, but seriously guys, to answer the question from the beginning of the video, I would start out with a sewing machine to do your basic construction. If you can and are able, I would grab a serger to have a more finished and professional look on the inside. Alright guys, let's check out our material girl of the week. This week was shared from the gram from @ShirleyAnderson. Super dope. Make sure you guys keep those hashtags coming. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me everywhere on the interwebs @Nadira037, and make sure you click on that video or the card up above so you can check out my previous tutorials. I hope this video was helpful, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and until my next video, assalamu alaikum. Peace!